data visualization. What is data visualization and how it is useful? The importance of data visualization we are going to see today in today's session. It's a because it's a webinar. We are not going to cover everything, and we are going to give the overall picture of data visualization. I'll be using the whiteboard for explanation, so I'll be writing here. So the topics what we are going to see here, I'll write whenever it is required. I'll be using this whiteboard. So the first topic, what we are going to see is what is visualization, then why visualization, then we are going to see the benefits of visualization, then the characteristics of visualization, what should be the characteristics. So it will give you a picture on which you can build, you can learn some technology and build the visualization. So we are also going to see the factors that affect the visualization. Then the techniques, what we are going to use, whatever possible, we'll try to do it within 30 to 45 minutes. The technique of data visualization and the libraries that are there in Python, which will be using the visualization. So this is actually the overall contents that I'm going to cover, like what is visualization, why visualization is playing an important role everywhere now, what are the benefits, characteristics of visualization, some technical thing, factors that affect visualization, the techniques, the libraries. These are the topics I'm going to cover as part of visualization. Because this is only the overview, we are not going to have any hands-on, but any data science related thing, anything which is related with Python requires a lot of hands-on, because it's a 30 to 45 minutes of webinar. Will be covering most of the concepts and the overview of data visualization. So when you take the data visualization, see, when you take the skills that are required for any data scientist, it is a word cloud I've obtained from net. So these are the skills that are required. So data visualization is also there here. So data visualization is also playing an important role. Yeah, data visualization is there, Python is there. There are other topics which are techniques which are very important for data scientists. So data visualization is also crucial for data scientists to succeed. These are the skills a data scientist should possess. It is not necessary that every data scientist possesses all these skills, but some data scientists contain different skills, and based on the area on which they are working. So overall, the skills that are required for data science field is given in this word cloud, and it is obtained from net. So when you take the important thing here, more than anything, important thing is data. So data is everywhere. So the data is keep on generated, and there is I got this information from net. The amount of data in the world was estimated to be 44 zettabytes at the end of 2020. What is zettabytes? If you don't know, I'm going to give it. And by 2025, daily data generation is 463 exabytes. And Google, Facebook, Microsoft, they are generating huge amount of data. So data everywhere. But what is the use of this data? So that we'll see. But before that, when you take here, the point what it is saying is, already by end of 2020, 44 zettabytes of data is already there. And in 2025, 463 exabytes of data is going to be generated daily. And so who are the source, which is the source for this? Who are giving the data? The data is given by everybody. It is given by persons, devices, businesses, government, social media. Everybody is contributing for the data, but The important thing is how to use the data. So there is huge amount of data is there, but now the companies, the data scientists, their job is how to make this data useful to the people, useful to the company, useful to the businesses. That is very crucial. Data is already there, it is generated, and it is getting generated, and it is going to be generated. So here, 44 zettabytes of data. So when I take this data, just if you are not aware of what is zettabyte, just I want to give you what is that. So here, when I take kilobytes, kilobyte is the basic unit. It is 10 power 3 bytes. Megabytes is 10 power 6. Then gigabytes is 10 power 9. Terabytes is 10 power 12. And petabytes is 10 power 15. And exabytes is exa. So that is referred already, 10 power 18. And zettabytes is 10 power 21, and attobytes. So attobytes is 10 power 24. So this is 10 power, when I say 10 power 21, after 10 there are 21, after 1 there are 21 zeros. So huge data. So 10 zeta here is 10 power 21, and exa is 10 power 18. So if you take these figures now, so already 44 into 10 power 21 bytes of data is already there. 44 into 10 power 21 bytes data is already there. And in 2025, from 2025, minimum data is going to be generated is 463 exabytes. So 463 into 10 power 18 bytes daily data is generated across the world. So as I told you, the data is generated now. Data is crucial. People are selling the data. Without our knowledge, we are contributing our data. So it is companies are making money out of the data which we generate. So the data is generated every second by people, devices, businesses, governments, and social media. So the data is very huge, and not only huge but also very complex. So now when you take this huge data, now data is available in the form of numbers, text, but the very crucial thing is how to make this data useful to people. But as it is, when you take the raw data, it is very difficult to understand the data. So data is there, but if I am given with some file that is generated by some uh, social media, then it is difficult for me to understand unless it is given in the form understandable to me. So data is there, but it is very complex and huge, and it is very difficult for human to understand the data. So that is where the problem is coming, and that is where the role of visualization, data visualization, and that's where data visualization comes to your rescue. So data visualization will help you to understand the data. So when you take the what is data visualization here, there are two important things, as I told you in the beginning. Two things we need. What is data visualization, and why is data visualization important? I gave you, these are the topics we are going to cover. So now when you take overall, when you take data visualization, it is picture of the data, it is glimpse of the data. So now what data, because there is huge data, complex data is available, which is very difficult to understand. Then the data visualization, what it does is it gives clear idea of what information is there, and it will give the visual context of the data through some kind of pictures, graphs, maps. So there are different techniques used by data visualization to give the data to the people. People means persons, companies, and whatever it is. Um, so overall, when you take the data visualization, it is picture of the data, graphical or pictorial representation of the data, that is data visualization. When you take the pictorial representation or the graphical representation of the data will make the user understand or interpret the data. So that is one main thing behind the data visualization. And not only that, the data visualization makes the people easily find the trends, patterns, and different things related with the data. So what is the trend that is there? What are the different patterns? So if you don't know some technical terms, it will be learned because trend is very common thing, which is a general term and it may be known to everybody. Pattern is purely a technical term. So you can get trends, patterns, outliers. Outlier is again purely a technical term. So those things you will be learning as part of data visualization, because data visualization requires at least 10 to 15 hours session to completely learn it. So the data visualization gives the pictorial or graphical representation. It gives trends, patterns, and other things. So that is what data visualization is. Now, when you take the next one, is what is data? Why data visualization is important? So when you take the data visualization, here I have mentioned 2 points: communication and decision making. So data visualization, we use that data visualization to communicate the people. So you are, as a data scientist or business analyst, whatever your role is, if you are preparing a visualization, there will be some targeted audience present. So you will be communicating, the data is communicated to the intended people or targeted people in the form of data visualization. So it is a communication tool. So it is used to communicate the data to the people, and also it is actually for decision making. So we'll be going somewhat deep into this. Now, when you take the businesses, the companies, there will be several stakeholders present, like the CEO of the company, MD. There are some managers, there are some employees, there are customers. So they all come under stakeholders. So it makes the stakeholders and decision makers to analyze data visually. So data analysis is very important before anybody takes the decision. So yeah, it makes the stakeholders, decision makers analyze data visually, and because of this data visualization, people can understand the trends and patterns easily. So that is that is one thing, because the decision makers can analyze the data and take the decisions, and irrespective of the business or business what person or company is doing, uh, it help, the data visualization will help to make their business grow in an efficient way. So if you don't use data visualization, it may be difficult for them to take decisions and make the business grow. Um, so that is one more important thing, is it will not only make the people to take decision, and it will also make the people uh, to make to grow the business. And also, when you take the data visualization, when you take the technical, this is the point, what 2 points what I have given is for decision makers, and it will also help the technical people. Suppose if somebody is building the model, machine learning model from the data, so they cannot build the model directly until unless they go through in depth into the data. And how do they go through in depth into data is again with the data visualization. So the technical people, the machine learning engineer, if the person has to develop some algorithm or model from the data, that person should surely go through the visualization and see what is happening in the data. So that is one more requirement of data visualization. Without data visualization, it is difficult for them to uh, go for a model. So it is another thing is it is the fast way of communicating the data to the people, fast and effective, efficient way of communicating. That point I have kept there. So data visualization make the data communication effective and fast. So that is one more thing. And also that is some decision making, some kind of decision making is, suppose if some people are doing some marketing, or some they are running supermarket, or they are doing some business. So the data visualization will also make the decision maker give about the points where some stress should be made, or more concentration should be made, or the areas where they can ignore something, and areas where they can put some um, more importance, the areas where they have to keep more importance, and so that it will attract the customers or clients. And so as I told you, it will make the business grow. So that is one more uh, one more reason why data visualization is important. Now, when I take the benefits of data visualization, is first one is as it is shown in the slide. Benefits of data visualization is simplification of the complex quantitative information. So information is very huge and complex, and the things will be made simple with the help of data visualization. Then the next thing is positive impact. Here positive impact means the data visualization, what it does is it positively affects an organization decision making process. So always with the help of the data visualization, the decision making will be positive most of the times. Sometimes the data visualization can be made interactive data visualization, so that the decision making will be more simple, relatively simple. You can say not simple, relatively simple means here without data visualization and with data visualization, if you have comparison, then with the data visualization, decision making will be somewhat easy. Because why this is because the businesses can know or recognize patterns more quickly. So if you don't have data visualization, it will take for them to it will take them some hours, days to know what are the patterns that are there in the data, and it is difficult for them to understand. So data visualization make the people quickly interpret the data by knowing the patterns, by recognizing the patterns. Then if you take this, that is the second thing, correlation in relationship. So this is actually a technical thing, like as I told you, when you are a machine learning engineer, you are developing a model. If you want to know the relationship between some uh, attributes, like suppose if you take what are these, suppose if I take seasons and sales, if I want to find some relationship between season and sales. So it may be difficult for people to know the relationship. If data visualization is used, then the relationship between attributes of the data can be easily identified, and what is the dependency between two variables. It is purely technical, and you can build a model based on the relationship. So relationship can be easily identified with the help of visualization. So that is another benefit. Next is trends over time. So uh, it is when you take it is impossible to make predictions without having the necessary information from the past and present data. Past data we require and present data. So trends over time will give us where there is a potential to grow the business, and where there is efforts are lacking, where more efforts are required. So those kinds of thing we can know over time. That can be done with the help of data visualizations. So hidden patterns can be easily obtained. Uh, Next is frequency is also very important thing, because when I take the frequency, it is purely the purchase. It is mostly related with only purchasing aspect of the customers. It is not everywhere for every businesses. So it is what it gives is, so it gives uh, the rate, the rate and how often customers purchase and why they buy the a particular item, and how they feel about the outcome, how, and also how new customers may act and react to different marketing and customer strategies. So that you can find with the help of data visualization. That is one more benefit. So you can know the frequency, I mean amount of buying a person is making. So that is one more thing. Then when you take the markets, so again, some points may be repetitive. I may be giving in importance here also. It may be coming because one and the other one is linked with the other. So when you take examining the market, it identifies the areas that need attention and improvement, as I told you already. And data visualization makes insights into the information, and it will reveal us where we need to pay attention and where some improvement is required. Uh, so we get clear picture of these things, and wherever there are opportunities present in the market, so that can be known from the various data visualization techniques. Then next point is the risk and reward. uh, so uh, so it may also give the risk metrics, because normally the risk metrics is a highly skilled area. So it is difficult for us to know the risks that are present in any area. It is very difficult manually to find it, but with data visualization, uh, because it can interpret the data, so the complex risk metrics can be obtained with the help of data visualization. And next is reacting to the market. So the ability to obtain information quickly and easily with the data, uh, which is actually you can make a dashboard. Create You can create a dashboard that allows businesses to act and respond swiftly to avoid making some kind of mistake. So reacting to the market means based on the the dashboard you can build with the help of visualization, so that you can swiftly act and react to the market. So these are some benefits of data visualization. Next, when you take the characteristics of this is see, these are whatever we have seen, these are general things, what is data visualization, why data visualization is important. They are general things. And now want to when you want to become a data visualization expert, so the other things are for people who make the decision. So as part of data visualization expert, these are technical things. So the major characteristics of data visualization are clarity, accuracy, and efficiency. So these are the three important characteristics of data visualization. So when you take clarity, means whatever you give, there should not be any confusion in the presentation whatever you are making. Presentation here means the picture whatever you create as part of the data visualization should be clear. So I'm going to show you some bad data visualizations and good data visualization, we can search in the internet and find it. So whatever graph or picture you are representing and trying to communicate to the decision makers or stakeholders should have clear information. There should not be any confusion. Uh, there should not be any confusion created. So this is very important thing. And also, whatever the visualization you should create, it should be complete and relevant to the area or customer for whom you are creating. So this is very important characteristics. There should not be any ambiguity or confusion in the picture, and it should be complete and it should be relevant. Some irrelevancy should not be there. So irrelevant information should not be pumped into the visualization. So this is the clarity. So clarity here means there should not be any ambiguity or confusion, and it should be complete and relevant. So this is very important. Sometimes if you add some irrelevant thing, then it will not help the people to make the decisions quickly and make their business grow. So clarity should be there. So it is very important. So next is accuracy, the precision with which you, so it should not give some kind of inaccurate information, means there should be precision. So it should give the right message to the people, and it should be correct. The message should be correct, so it should not be inaccurate. So accuracy is very important, because if you give some inaccurate data which is not correct, it will make negative impact on the business and decision making. So whatever visualization you create, it should be accurate, means it should give the correct information, not correct or right information, not the information which is incorrect or wrong. So this is another important thing. So it should, next is efficient. So it should, one important thing is there should be clarity, there should be accuracy, and it should be efficient, means the once you give some graph or some visualization to suppose manager, you should not search for any other thing to make the decision from whatever you are giving. From that only the person should be able to make the decision. So you have to give all necessary highlights of the data to the so patterns, trends, whatever is there, that should be reflected in your the visualization. Then only the decision making can be swift. So the data visualization should be not only it should not only carry clarity, accuracy, but also it should carry efficiency, because all important points, highlights of trends and patterns should be clearly visible from the visualization whatever you are preparing. So next is this is a basic factor that actually impact the data visualization. So when you take the data visualization, you cannot simply create the data visualization without keeping these factors in to consideration. So the factor that what you have to consider to create data visualization is data types and data types and scale, understanding of plots and usages, because until unless you understand the plots and usages, so I'll come to each one one by one. Then aesthetics of the plots, communicating with plots, uses of the libraries. These are the factors that affect the data visualization. So first thing is data types and scale. It is purely one of the technical things, because if the data is numerical, the visualization should be different, and different visualization technique you have to use. If it is categorical, you have to use different visualization. And here scale key speaks about the volume of the data. If the volume is less, different visualization, and volume is more, different visualization. So you should be aware of the data types, like whether it is a numerical data, categorical data. If you are not aware, it's actually a purely technical things. As a data scientist, as a data visualization person, you should be aware of the data types of the data on which you are working, and the volume of the data. And also plots, there are so many plots. I am going to give you the list of plots which are actually available under visualization techniques. So you should be aware of the plots, which plot is useful for what purpose. So simply, if you know about, suppose, one plot, if you know scatter plot, if you use for everything, if you use scatter plot, it is not going to help the people. So you should be aware, thoroughly aware of the plot. What is the use of that particular plot? In what situation that plot can be used? What data we can use that plots? So that should be it is affecting. So what plot you use is very important. So you should be aware of the different plots, which I'm going to give you briefly, and what is its use. And next is aesthetics of the plots. Normally, aesthetics means the beautification thing, the colors and other things. Now, when you take this particular point, see here, first point is very important. As a data visualization person, you should know thoroughly what are the different data types, what is volume. Similarly, what are the different plots, where I have to use each plot, you should be aware. But aesthetics, now the technology has improved. Even in Python, there is Seaborn package, which will help you to make the graphs aesthetics very good. Aesthetics means the color thing, what color should be used for what purpose. You need not spend much time, because the tools that are there available now will help you in aesthetics, but they'll not help you in understanding the plots and usages. They'll not help you in understanding data types, volumes, what is that impact. It is your see, when you take data visualization, what I say is it is more an art than engineering thing. So you must have you must have actually a lot of visualization, means you have to apply your creativity is very important. So it is what I feel, personally feel, is data visualization is more an art than engineering thing, science, because it requires a lot of creativity. So data visualization requires a lot of creativity. If you take as part of this, color selection is very important. But what I feel here is colors aesthetics, because now the tools are developed in such a way that the aesthetics are uh, uh, actually decided or actually helped by the tools that you use. Like Seaborn will help you to choose the colors automatically. It chooses the colors 99% of the time. The colors, the default colors, whatever Seaborn gives, are enough. You need not spend much time on aesthetics. So because the technology is developed in this particular area. Next is communicating with plots. So this is very important thing. I told you the data visualization is for communication. So you are preparing data visualization. For whom you are preparing data visualization is very important. Is it for decision maker? Is it for customer? Is it for technical person? So that is very important. So whom do you want to communicate this visualization? That is crucial. Based on that, you have to prepare your visualization. So communication is very important. Here, communication is not using some like wireless communication or email or anything. The way you send the data, the people whom you communicate is part of communication. So, and what is the situation, whether it is anybody starting the business, or whether they are want to grow the business, or you are giving some presentation, or somebody is preparing a research idea. So based on this, so these are the communication things, not the wireless communication or email or other things. Here communication is the targeted audience for whom you are preparing the visualization. So this is very important, whether it is decision maker or machine learning engineer or client or customer. That is one aspect of communication. Whom do you want to communicate? Second aspect is in what situation you are building this data visualization. What is it time? Is it for the startup company? Is it for the people who wants to start new project or completing the project or growing their business, or somebody is preparing a research paper? So what for you are doing this communication? This is also very important. So data visualization is not a thumb rule. There is no rule kind of thing. It is more creative. You have to construct so many things. You cannot apply a formula and get a visualization. Of course, you may be using some techniques, but your creativity plays more role in visualization, because you should consider so many things. So last point is usage of the libraries, because when you want to do this thing, you require some tool like Python. You may be requiring Power BI. You may be requiring, or some other tool you are requiring. Here in this five things, aesthetics and usage of the library, you need not bother much, because if you know Python, if you refer some textbook or net, you can know what are the libraries that are there with Python, and you can use that particular library to do the required thing. So if you know what plot is important, check that plot how to build in Python. You can do it easily. But deciding what plot is more important than how to build that plot in Python, because there is a lot of information available regarding libraries, whether it is Python or Power BI or anything. It will help in this 5 points. See, these are the crucial. When you take this is one very important thing for data visualization. This is another important slide for data visualization. In these 5 points, point number 3 and point number 4, you need not bother much. But point number 2 and 4 are very crucial, and point number 1 is also very important. So this is about the factors that affect the data visualization.